Last year, the keyboard market exploded with new options, better features, lower prices, and more competition than ever. But one keyboard stood out above the rest. People called it the keyboard of 2024. Today, I'm finally getting my hands on the Shortcut Studio Bridge75, and I can't wait to show you why it's earned that title. Before we begin, I just want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Mechlands. They provided the Bridge75 free of charge for the purpose of this review. However, rest assured, all opinions you hear today are completely my own and unbiased. Let's go over the unboxing before we go any further. So I do want to just give some appreciation to the packaging. It's got that simple typography with a complimentary bridge illustration, all with that box style where the lid lifts off. Inside the box, the Bridge75 itself comes with a protective dust cover, followed by an information sheet. For accessories, you're getting a braided USB A to C cable, a nice branded dual keycap and switch puller, some spare switches and gaskets, and the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver. So at this point, the Bridge75 is living up to the hype. Customized tools, extra gaskets, and overall just tasteful packaging. I'm keen to continue, though I never like revealing the wireless dongle in the packaging because it usually means there's no onboard storage. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over some of the main specs and features before we get into my own thoughts and opinions. The Shortcut Studio Bridge75 comes in at $139.99 on Mechlands.com. It features a non-exploded 75% layout with 73 keys. It's got tri-mode connectivity, meaning you can connect via Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz wireless, or wired USB-C. It's also got a 4000 mAh battery. With the main specs and features out of the way, let's start by taking a surface level look at this keyboard. So right off the bat, I just think it's a serious looking keyboard. It just looks like it means business. I've got it in the black colorway, but you can alternatively grab it in a more refreshing silver. It's got a non-exploded 75% layout with a blocker right here. It's got a full aluminium build quality with a brushed stainless steel backweight. It's not my favorite backweight style, but I really don't think there's much room for complaint. With its aluminium build, it's on the heftier side, coming in just under 2.5 kgs. I did notice some fingerprinting on the underside, which to be honest I was a little disappointed by. The saving grace here is that the vast majority of exposed aluminium is on the underside, which you don't really see anyway. As I mentioned in the unboxing, the Bridge75 is gasket mounted, so you're getting a nice cushion feel when you're typing. Underneath is pretty clean with some rubber case pads, one of which spans right the way across, which is a cool and definitely unique feature. If anyone can let me know in the comments what this text means, I'd appreciate it. The Bridge has that more sought after box-on wedge case structure, which is one of those subtle but effective ways to make a keyboard just look really nice to me. Then you're getting a simple USB-C port on the back edge for connectivity. You're not getting any screens or knobs or anything gimmicky at all on the surface of the keyboard, which honestly is really refreshing, and it bolsters that professional vibe you're getting here. In the navigation cluster, you're getting a delete, home, page up, down, and end key, which I actually think is pretty much perfect. But I'm curious, are there any other keys you would have preferred to see here? So moving on to keycaps, they're double shot PBT in the cherry profile, and I think they're almost a perfect color match to the case, maybe just a little bit darker if anything, but almost indistinguishable. The main alphas have that semi-bold font weight and the legends are top left aligned. Moving a layer deeper for switches, I've gone for the Princess linears, and I really like the approach taken here when configuring your board. You can simply choose between a TOC or clack configuration, which I think a lot of beginners and enthusiasts alike, like me, would find really beneficial, because I definitely did. So the TOC option are 5-pin linears with a total travel of 3.6mm and a pre-travel of 1.9 with an operating force of about 42 grams. Now the typing experience on this keyboard is genuinely like none I've tried on my keyboard journey so far. It's basically absolutely perfect out of the box. The Bridge delivers a super consistently smooth talky keystroke that I haven't quite felt before. The sound profile is low pitch with kind of a deep poppy talk. That might all be contradictory, I don't know, but that's how it sounds to me and it sounds really good. Now, I was disappointed to hear just a little bit of stabilizer ping. It was present on my spacebar but seems to have stopped just from using the board, but it's definitely still present on my shift key. So if you want the absolute best experience here, I'd recommend balancing them and maybe throwing on a bit of extra lube. Alright, I'm going to play a good amount of sound test to give you a real feel for how the Bridge75 sounds. Alright, so let's go over some more points of note on this board. What I've got here is the standard model Bridge75, which skips out on a few features found in the Plus model. But are those features actually worth the upgrade? The standard model Bridge75 comes in at $140 compared to the $160 price tag on the Plus. So on the more expensive model, you're getting some glossy trim on the back weight, an extra internal PET sheet layer, double the size battery at 8000 mAh, full RGB and an F44 plate compared to the polycarbonate in the standard model. Now, I'm not personally fussed about the extra glossy trim on the back weight nor the internal PET layer. For me, the typing experience on the standard model is just so good that I wouldn't even consider swapping out the polycarbonate plate. That leaves two things, the battery and the RGB. I think these things are more subjective, but I 100% think there's a market for buyers who would gladly pay less money and also not have RGB. And a 4000 mAh battery is definitely no joke, especially when you're not feeding any RGB. So overall for me, I think the better value is in the standard model for $140. With the caveat that I haven't actually tried the Plus model, this is just from theory alone. Moving on to software support, and you'll be glad to know that the Bridge75 comes with full VIA customization. I'll have the JSON configuration file linked in the description, and it's as simple as loading it up and you're ready to start customizing. Alright, at this point in the video I'm going to perform a teardown to showcase the internal structure of the bridge. So no case screws and no internal hidden screws means this board features a relatively new ball catch case structure. Now, full disclosure, this is my first time reviewing a ball catch system keyboard, so I'll try keep it unbiased. But damn, it's really convenient and cool. You just have to give the top case a little pull like you're seeing on screen and it comes straight off. This makes it just really so easy to play around with your configuration, being completely toolless. So you're getting a lightly flex cut polycarbonate plate with plate mounted stabilizers. Like I mentioned, they are pre-lubed, but I did experience some minor ticking. But who knows, maybe that was just my unit. Then you're getting a 5-pin hot swappable PCB with heavy flex cutting. You also get screw-in stabilizer support, and note the absence of any RGB LEDs. The board is using these silicone dumbbell gaskets which do a really good job. You get all the usual foam, so you can configure your sound if you know what you're looking for. Then finally down in the case, you've got the internal back weight and a 4000 mAh battery and daughterboard. You also get to use silicone, I guess force brake kind of pads, which I assume is to kill any of those sounds we don't want from metal touching metal. Okay, I want to round things off and start by saying I definitely see why the Bridge rose to fame over 2024 and why some consider it endgame. I mean, it looks great, sounds and feels amazing to type on, has all the connectivity, software support and even a ball catch system. So really, what's not to love here? Now, Mechlands did provide the Bridge for this review and they charge $140 standard. But you can find this keyboard for cheaper with even more colour theme options if you're willing to wait, because you will find that stock is limited. Now, I am aware that I've absolutely sang this keyboard's praises, but I want to remind you that that's based on merit. Mechlands had absolutely no say in my thoughts or opinions. So yeah, the Bridge75 is definitely one of the easiest recommendations I can give, but I'm curious to see if there's any keyboard veterans watching. What do you think of the Bridge75? That concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider dropping a like and subscribing because your support is greatly appreciated and it's free to do. I want to say another major thanks to the people over at Mechlands for making this video possible.